little invention.
Yeah.
Piloted right here.
We're the very first people to ever take a deep breath before doing a television show. Yes, invented here on Real Politics, the TV show.
Hey everybody, I'm Ben Yee.
I'm Elissa Stein.
And we are...
We're talking about the SHSAT.
Follow-up episode.
A
There's like
follow-up to the
3, right?
follow-up. I know,
Number
we're
3.
like 17, because there's so much going on every day.
And very fast.
So fast.
So what's new?
For so many reasons. But what's interesting that's happened just recently is that a lawsuit was introduced.
Yes.
By Kristen McAuliffe, PTA, and various other Asian American families.
I actually was at that press conference where they did. I was like, wow, look at them go.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And great to see this one particular group of people stand up for themselves in this atmosphere where, at this point, it's one sort of race pitted against another sort of race in terms of getting seats in schools.
Do you want to talk about the nature and arguments of the suit?
Sure, we can talk about that first.
Okay.
So, in essence, what happens is there's this thing called the Discovery Program.
Yes.
The Discovery Program has been around for as long as the SHSAT was covered by state law.
That's right. And what does it do?
What it does is that it gives room for underprivileged kids who just missed the cutoff by a little bit to be invited to a summer program and then gain admittance.
And how do you define
disadvantage?
Right
now it's free or reduced lunch. So across the board, it's been less than 5% of kids get a seat this way, but it's disadvantaged kids, whomever, have access.
And you just go down the list and find the people who just missed the cutoff and
just missed the cutoff
them.
by like a couple of points, right?
Yes.
Didn't get into their school. It used to be at the big 3 schools, Bronx Science, Brooklyn Tech, Stuyvesant. Bronx Science and Stuyvesant left this in the dust a long time ago. Brooklyn Tech has been the only school that has kept up with this program. So basically, they've been the only ones for a long time participating in Discovery.
So what's the change and why is it triggering a lawsuit now?
So the mayor has decided to up from 5% to 20%.
Yes.
And it's also people who missed the cutoff score. It's going to be by a lot more than a couple of points. Also for disadvantaged kids. But, and here is the reason for the lawsuit, it's disadvantaged kids who are in high or very low income schools in high poverty neighborhoods.
Right, so it's not the individuals now.
It's not the individuals. They have to come from a specific school. So what a lot of Asian American families are saying is that, poor families who happen to live in a district with a decent school, if the school doesn't now qualify, now the student will not qualify.
Exactly.
And so what this is a way of doing is it's working around to the unfortunately, the poor neighborhoods with the not well-performing schools are often in black and brown neighborhoods.
Right.
So what they're doing is making this racial split so that these seats will now be available only to black and brown kids because they will only be available to kids in those schools.
Right.
So you're saying poor kid, a poor kid from an underprivileged family now will not have access unless they're going to a very poor school. So it's kind of like the parents who've worked hard.
Bleep.
To bring to work hard to get their kids into a good school.
Yes. Ironically, this problem could have been solved or you wouldn't be able to do this if the city were properly funding all of the schools, because then you wouldn't have schools that have a aggregate 60% below the poverty rate of funding.
And I will say, and another thing we should talk about is the mayor's renewal program, which was pouring money into failing schools.
But maybe another episode, because that's a whole other thing.
I know, that is. But anyway, so this lawsuit came up because it's not fair.
Yeah.
And it's a racially motivated way of repopulating these schools.
Right.
But what's interesting is that there are all these sort of activist groups around this who've been around for a while, many made up of alumni and Asian Americans who have been fighting to maintain the SHSAT. And I've been a part of this sort of grassroots coalition for a while, but a letter was published yesterday by the, I'm not exactly sure of the name, but it's the black alumni from Stuyvesant who came out opposed to people protesting. They're opposed to the lawsuit. And they're saying that that yes, there should be, it's not fair that there aren't enough black and brown kids, and so they support the mayor in finding any way kind of to make this a reality. And so now the Asian Americans in these groups are outraged because they're saying you should know better than pitting one race against another. And so there are very heated conversations going on about it. Chalkbeat published the article yesterday. The comments, scroll down and you can read this fight really out in the open about these different points of view of people who feel very strongly about this issue, when at the end of the day, I will continue to say, if you don't increase education in elementary and middle schools, there is no way that you can take these kids who are not performing at grade level through no fault of their own. But if you're not educated properly and you don't have those building blocks, you should not be put into a rigorous academic environment because you will set kids up to fail.
Of course.
And
I am always saying that DeBlasio in his first term did a very good thing by focusing on universal pre-K. And it looked like he understood that education starts when you're young, but then somehow skipped 10 years of school to
He
say,
went from,
we did pre-K, now let's do high school.
Right, and missed that whole entire part where, I
learn
would quickly
stuff?
say that my son's middle school principal, he went to a great District 2 school, said middle school is where it happens.
Yeah.
Kids either can continue on that path or you just kind of lose them, and it's very hard once you lose them to bring them back. And so you gotta focus, man. You've got to put that focus on the kids who really need it and not expect ones who aren't at that academic place to suddenly pick it up and thrive in high school, because it's not going to happen.
But ultimately, there are many issues, and we're out of time.
But we're here to talk
we will
about
take
it.
it up again
Probably in like
soon.
30 seconds.
Yeah, all right.
See ya.
Laters.